Welcome to the Markets with Mike. I'm Leah Patterson and I'm here with investment advisor Michael McGlaughn. We have big news out of Washington this week. The Federal Reserve has cut interest rates from 4.25% to 4%, the first cut in nearly a year. It wasn't the big drop some were expecting. But Michael, so now a lot of retirees are asking, what could this mean for my money?
Well, the question is, it depends. And that is a big, kind of question mark. It depends. Some of it depends on how you're invested. I think the markets have been excited a little bit about seeing the rate cut, so they have responded well. So if you're invested more aggressively in stocks, mutual funds, those kind of things, it's probably meant good news for you up to a point. But then if you're in more fixed type products, CDs, savings accounts, cash, money markets, fixed annuities, those kind of things, it could mean less growth for you going forward because of the lower interest rates. Part of this is to battle inflation, so talking about what it means for your money. Hopefully it's going to cause inflation to slow and help our spending power, so it could be good news there. We just have to wait and see. So a lot of question marks as to it depends on your particular situation as to how that's going to work out for you.
With so much going on, how can retirees take back some control in times like this?
Well, the number one thing is you need to have a plan. You can't go at it blind. You can't guess. And the best way to do that is to sit down with an advisor that is experienced in, as we say, the distribution phase of retirement, to help you know where your income is coming from and then how to plan and make sure, even in times like this, when there's rate cuts or there's market volatility, whatever it is that comes about, that they can help you to plan ahead for those events rather than always being reactive to those events.
So we talk about a retirement income plan a lot. What exactly is a retirement income plan?
Yeah, so in order to build a retirement income plan, there's several things that we need to take a look at. One, of course, is your assets that you have saved for retirement, whether it's 401ks, IRAs, non-qualified accounts, whatever that you have. Take a look at those, look at how you're invested from the get-go. Social Security benefits, any other income sources like a pension or rental income, those kind of things. We plug all of that in to your plan. And then tax returns. So we see, what are the impact of taxes on that, looking at what you have in terms of whether it's capital gains or how your income is impacting your taxes. We plug all of that into an analysis and be able to pull a chart out and say, okay, this is your Social Security benefit, this is your retirement income, this is what you're having to take in distributions from your assets in order to make ends meet, and then at the end of the day, how long is your money going to last you? And we're able to show that in a retirement income plan. When do you run out of money? And then we can start to look from that situation to, can we improve this and extend it out further by changing how you're invested, changing income sources, and those kind of things. So that's ultimately what that plan looks like.
Now that we're on to the Fed Reserve and cuts, let's just dive into the highlights for this week.
Sure. So as we said at the open, the Federal Reserve cut interest rates by 0.25%, lowering it to 4% from 4.25. The decision reflects concerns about a weakening labor market, so some job market issues there, rising inflation, which is now almost 1% above the Fed's 2%, so we're looking at about a 3% inflation rate right now. And then the Fed also has signaled plans for 2 additional rate cuts later this year as part of its risk management and inflation management strategy. So could be some more coming there. On a different note in our highlights, President Trump has criticized this particular cut as too small, wanted to see a much larger reduction of at least 3 percentage points, which would have been a huge drop. But the Federal Reserve has kept its rates higher to combat inflation despite pressure from the president to lower them. and experts are concerned that a rapid and large rate cut could have some unintended negative consequences for the economy. So it's kind of a battle between, do we just rip the Band-Aid off or do we take baby steps? And so it looks like right now the Fed is wanting to take baby steps where that's concerned. So, well, make us laugh now, Leah.
All right, time for our
for
dad joke of the week. What is Santa's favorite state to visit?
Santa's favorite state to visit? I don't know, Florida after Christmas is over so he can lay on the beach.
Hey, that would be my plan. But Santa's favorite state to visit is Idaho ho ho. If anyone out there is from Idaho ho ho, drop a comment.
Yeah.
We want to know if you've seen Santa there lately.
That's
That one was a pretty good one.
That was a pretty good one. I like that one. So, all right, well, let's talk about a little bit of history this week. We got some big ones. So,
yeah, we do.
This week in history, 1863. If you like turkey and dressing,
Love
and
it.
you like sweet potato casserole and all the fixings and stuff. So in 1863, this week, President Lincoln proclaims the first official Thanksgiving holiday. So,
thank you, President Lincoln. Thank you.
So we like to thank, the Plymouth Rock and Pilgrims, but President Lincoln is the one that made it an official holiday. So that's why you get off, 2 days at Thanksgiving or whatever it
Thank
is.
you.
So.
Also this week in 1890, Yosemite National Park was established. So I have not been there, but it is on my bucket list. I've heard it's beautiful.
I have too. I've not been there. So this week in 1908, the Ford Motor Company unveiled the Model T, so the world's first mass-produced assembly line automobile.
Big deal.
From the Ford Motor Company.
And also this week in 1957, Sputnik was launched.
Space race. They beat us to that one, but we got the first man on the moon. So
they say.
We're not going to go into that today.
No.
So, and this week in history, 2011, Steve Jobs passed away, the CEO of Apple. So very sad note to end that one on. But, if you don't want to be sad and you've been saving for retirement or you've saved for retirement and you don't have a written retirement plan, this could be your wake-up call. The Fed has just cut rates, the economy is shifting a little bit, and without a solid plan, it could shrink your savings pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. So make sure that you have a plan, a personalized plan that can help protect and grow your savings, a clear strategy that will help maximize your Social Security, potentially reduce taxes, combat inflation, and then give you the confidence that you'll have a steady income for the rest of your life. And our team is here to help you take control of that by sitting down, working with you through your Bridge to Tomorrow review.
Absolutely. As Michael said, there's no time to waste. Call us today at 256-467-4382. We are ready to help you bridge your tomorrows with a sound financial strategy.